Hi, in this video, it's a update to the video I made last time. I thought it was kind of all over the place, so I decided to fix it and just get to the point. So I'm just gonna hide all this. So this piece is 400 by 400 meter. So basically 1 meter, well, 4 meters. And it has, basic UVs. So let's get, so in Unreal, there's a, you could tile this by increasing the tiling in the material controls. But the light map has to be in 0 to 1 space. So let me duplicate this. Essentially, this would be normal texture UV, and this would be the light map. So in the normal UV, you could do pretty much whatever you want, scale it out, and when the light map bakes, it bakes to this. So this could have the regular, where the color is, and that can have like stacked UVs, mirrored, whatever. This just has to be a clean UV layout. So when your pieces are too big, like say like that. History, freeze, transforms. Go back in here. Going to unfold. And UV layout. So I'm going to delete this. Actually, I'm not. It's going to do unfold and we're in the shell layout and straighten UVs. So sure, you could see the difference, right? And how much detail this set of light maps could get compared to this. So when I took classes at CGMA, I was suggested that our modules, our modular pieces, you don't want anything bigger than 4 meters because the light map texel density suffers. So you have to build your pieces in such a way that they can make this piece. So essentially you export one piece of the wall, this wall, right? And then you, with instances, sorry about that. So with instances, you make sure they snap together. Then you would duplicate it. And Unreal, how many times it needs to be split up. So just because I adjusted the model, I'm fixing the UVs again. So I'm going to turn on the grid here, so you can see like if this isn't making sense. So I'm sure you could see the texel density difference between this one and this. So basically this piece, because it has to be in here, this UV 0 to 1 space, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 times less detail than this one. And as far as texel density is concerned. So obviously this piece, the shadows are going to be sharper and nicer when you're doing your when the bake happens in Unreal. So that's issue number 1, and why you're keeping track of everywhere. You know, whatever the pipeline you're given, it has to have, you know, you might be told, hey, every meter I need a cut in your geometry. And, you know, you might feel if you're coming from just doing props or doing characters or unique unwraps, that, you know, having all these cuts in there is pointless. you know, this in theory is more efficient, but doing this looks better to the best of my knowledge. So if you're an established character, environment artist, and you know all the ins and outs, feel free to educate me and shed more light on this. So I would, always want to learn more. So in Unreal, instead of, you would just export this module instead of this one. So the other thing that makes environments just tricky so let's go here. Layout. So you always want to make sure your UVs are rotated the right way as well. You don't want to be like that and bring your modules with the UVs like that, because then it's upside down. Or like that, everything pointing the same way. So it just makes sense to the texture artist, because you might not be texturing your asset. And the last thing your texture artist wants to deal with is, your UVs is slightly rotated or stretching, whatever. Because they're more difficult to work with. So that's kind of why you put the cuts in there. I'm gonna show a more, I don't know if this illustrated the point, but so imagine this piece is it's even bigger than it's even bigger than before, and you just have this. So these are the old UVs. I'm going to do the same thing, just unfold and see how small it got, and then lay it out, orient. I'm just going to compare. So this piece and this piece. So that's the difference. That's how much more texel density you get from this tiny piece compared to this one. So that's the challenge you're going to have when you're building environments. And it happens with anything, anything large, any big prop. Instead of just doing a unique unwrap, you need to set it up for trim sheets instead and use decals on it. So you could get basically so you're getting this kind of resolution on your model, so everything looks like it belongs together. So you were to put a character in front of a building that's textured like this, you're gonna, this is gonna look terrible compared to this. It's gonna look blurry, and if this piece is large enough, it'll look pixelated, and it'll be extremely noticeable. The character is going to be extremely sharp. I'm sure you could see the difference. Let me add that texture I was using in the earlier video. So nothing, yeah, I just added a trim sheet I made in here. So you see the difference. When you're using trim sheets, you're building your pieces. Yeah. Let me see, we have So anyway, I'm not really sure what's going on here, but this is really strange. Wow. So here we have the piece again, just scale that and freeze the transforms. Let's see if it glitches out again. Nope, I don't, yeah. There's nothing special about that other piece. So, I really don't know why I was doing that. Just cutting this up. Attaching different trim areas. So let's say you're going to use this as a tiling portion of your wall, which let me bring up the Unreal Dude. So the resolution of your texture is going to be dependent on this guy, right? Your player model. So if your bricks are supposed to be huge blocks versus something, that's more like a normal brick size. That's kind of what you have to do to, like, if you wanted to make this trim sheet. This is all you're giving your seamless texture. That's what you would have to do to make it work. And so this isn't ideal. So you would just have a seamless texture with 2048 by 2048 just for the bricks, and then one 2048 by 2048 just for different strips, different trims, that then you can make cuts in. And I'm just showing it this way. So you can see what you know, what you can and can't do, and what you need to be taking into account when you're making your model. But the flexibility is obviously if you need to extend this, which I was talking about in the other video, for whatever reason, you can easily do this, or cut it in, cut it out, and helps line up textures. Yeah. And you can make your different pieces, and it gives you a bunch of flexibility. So these are the kind of limitations you're going to be facing. And hopefully that makes sense. Yep. And that's it.